everyone, Jaymes Mansfield here bringing you yet another video. Now in today's video, we're gonna sew again. Today we're gonna make a simple mermaid dress. It's pretty, it's cute, and it's oh so simple to make. It's gonna blow your mind how simple it is. Let me run down a list of things you're gonna need. You're gonna need, of course, a sewing machine, 2 types of thread, one to match your dress and one to match the ruffles we're going to make. Some scissors, some 1-inch elastic, straight pins, a white eyeliner and pencil sharpener, or a fabric marker. Any kinds of little embellishments you want to add to the dress afterwards. I'm using tiny little bows I found at Walmart. Some fun stretch fashion fabric. This fabric is 2-way stretch. Many yards of tulle. This is exactly 9 yards. A safety pin, and a regular sewing needle. And if you watch my previous sewing tutorial, you'll also need that leotard we created in that video. Be sure and click the link down below and catch up. Now without further ado, let's get started and make a mermaid dress. Now for sewing the dress, since we're sewing on stretch fabric, we're going to use a zigzag stitch. So I'm setting my sewing machine to setting 4, which is a looser zigzag stitch. Making sure our tension is about 4 to 5. Now for sewing ruffles, it's a little different. I always have my sewing machine set to about a 9 or a 10 in a straight stitch. And you want your tension to be very tight. So I set my dial all the way to an 8 or a 9. Well, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first we're going to lay our fabric out on a fold. Make sure it's laid out good and flat. And make sure it's the side that has the greatest amount of stretch. We're going to lay down our leotard, or a bodysuit or bathing suit that fits your body perfectly. Because ladies like us need room to breathe. And taking our eyeliner or fabric marker, we're going to trace around that. And we're just going to pin down the fabric to keep it still, giving it an inch seam allowance. Using the eyeliner, I'm going to expand downward, creating a pencil skirt. If you need to gauge a better measurement of this, use some measuring tape or a ruler. And using our straight pins, we're going to pin that up as well. Taking our scissors, we're going to cut that out. Remember to give yourself some seam allowance for when we start to sew this, because it's easier to take in, it's a lot harder to take out. And placing that in our sewing machine, we are using the zigzag stitch. And we're going to run that long stitch all along to both sides of the garment. And stretch fabric can be a bitch to work with, so really take your time with it. Go slow and remove the pins as you go. Now we move on to our tulle. Everyone does this step a little differently. What I do, my trick is I do 2 full arms lengths of tulle, fold each side down over itself so that both sides meet in the middle, and then you cut up the middle from there. This stuff does have a tendency to go everywhere, so I do recommend straight pinning it. And we take our scissors and we cut that right up the middle. And there you have 2 long pieces of tulle on a fold. Now comes time to gather the fabric, so we're going to adjust our sewing machine to the straight stitch on the tightest tension. Make sure you have a really long strand of thread coming out of this, because with gathers, the longer the thread is, the less likely it is to come apart. And we're just going to feed that through the sewing machine to create ruffles. Ruffles are my absolute favorite because it gives you instant glamour on a dime. Can't afford a boa? Make some ruffles. Are feathers too expensive? Put some ruffles on it. Alright, we're going to lay out our dress and gauge where we want our seam allowance to be. Turning that inside out, we're going to lay it flat again. We want it closest to the edge where we've determined the bottom of the dress is going to be. We're going to pin the ruffles on upside down. This is going to create that fishtail effect for the mermaid dress. I know it's going to be a little difficult, but try and lay the tulle down as flat as possible. Put down some scissors or even a fabric weight. We're going to feed that through our sewing machine with a zigzag stitch, the same way we sewed the dress together, because we want it to have some give. I did 9 yards, so that guarantees me about 2 rows of ruffles. Now you can make as many as you want. It's completely at your own discretion at any length that you want. If you want the bottom to be fuller, just add more. Alright, now we're going to take our elastic. We're going to take that and wrap it around our body, under our arms, and above our breast line. Cut that and just use a straight stitch and go back and forth on that to lock it in place. Taking that freshly sewn elastic, we're going to place that around the dress. It should slide a little awkwardly around it. That's perfectly fine because it's going to stretch out. And taking the top, we're going to fold that over. Now turn the dress inside out. Taking the straight pins again, we're going to pin that all around. And using a zigzag stitch, we're going to feed that through the sewing machine again. You don't want to pierce through the elastic. You just want to get the fabric that's holding it in because we're going to create a seam around it. Alright, determine where you want the front of the dress to be. And in the center plate, we're going to pinch some fabric. This is going to create some gathering so that you'll have a more defined bust line. Once you pinch the amount of fabric you desire, take the safety pin and slide it up through it. Alright, and taking our straight needle, we are going to pierce through that gathering to lock it in place. And it doesn't have to be too neat because we're going to cover this up with embellishments. And after removing the safety pin, I'm going to take our embellishment and lay that flat on top of the gathering. Using that same needle, I'm going to sew it onto it to mask the stitches of the gathering. And once you have the embellishment on, you're ready to try it on. You're done. This is the final result. A mermaid-style wiggle dress that cuts at the knee. This style of dress was made popular in the 50s, worn by actresses like Jaymes Mansfield and Divine. I'm back! This is the final result. This sassy little mermaid number is sure to make a splash at your next drag show. It's cute, it's easy, and most of all, it's affordable. You can get all the materials to make this for under $40. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below and let me know what you want to see next. I am listening, kittens. Until next time, bye. Click here and make my teddy bear look. Or get to know me. Come on, click it. I heard all your friends talk about how cool my video was. You should click it. Come on, don't you want to be cool?